Again, hello everyone. So now we are going to solve the stratigraphy questions. Starting from the 85th question, the correct hierarchy of formal lithostratigraphic unit is what? So lithostratigraphic unit का है supergroup, group, formation, member and bed. So member के बाद एक bed भी आता है. So the first one is giving us the right option. Supergroup is like a collection of group. Then we have the collection of formation, that is group. Collection and formation is primary. It's the mappable unit defined by lithology, and member is the subdivision of formation. So yeah, and bed is the smallest unit and it lies below the member. So first option is correct. Now coming to the 86th question, it is geochronostratigraphic unit with geochronological unit. So Eratham, system, series, stage. Eratham is matches with era, system matches with period, series matches with epoch, and stage matches with age. In this way. So Eratham means rock, era means time. Okay, system matches. I've already told you. So you have to learn these sequencing of geochronostratigraphic, geochronological, lithostratigraphic, biostratigraphic, all kind of units. So you can learn it very well. Also, I have made this video previously on my YouTube channel where I have explained all these chronological units and the tricks to learn them. So you can go through that. Eon thumb, era thumb, system, series, stage, eon, era, period, epoch, age. I have this mnemonics. You can go through that. Coming to the 87th question, the principle of uniformitarianism is given by, was proposed by whom? The question is that. So that is proposed by Charles Lyell. यूनिफॉर्मिटारिज्म सिंपली स्टेट करता है कि जो सेम नेचुरल प्रोसेस आज हो रहे हैं, इरोजन, सेडिमेंटेशन, वोल्केनिज्म, ये पास्ट में भी हुए हैं विद इन कंपेरेबल रेट्स. सो द प्रेजेंट इज द की टू पास्ट. So Charles Lyell is correct. He was the one who popularized and formalized in the book with the principle of geology, and he replaced the catastrophic short term with the gradualism, and in the graduation there is a subdivision of uniformitarianism. So provided the geological timescale and process continuity that underpins the modern stratigraphy and geomorphology. Darwin is the biological evolution by natural selection. So he uses Lyell's idea but did not perform unitarianism. Suez was the one who gave this Gondwana-Tethys concepts in tectonics, and Lamarck, he was the one who gave this early evolutionary idea of acquired characteristics. So Darwin, we know कि natural selection. Suez was the one who gave the Gondwana-Tethys sequences in tectonics, and Lamarck gave the early evolutionary idea. Now we have this 88th question. The Palghat-Cauvery shear zone separates two geological the Palghat-Cauvery shear zone separates two geological domains. The Palghat-Cauvery जो shear zone है वो basically pre-Cambrian tectonic boundary है in southern India with a craton mobile interface. So just a minute. Yeah. So the correct option is southern granite terrain from the northern Dharwar Craton. Northern Dharwar Craton is the one with Archean, granite, greenstone terrain. Okay, and southern granite terrain is the high-grade granulite facies rock. So PCSZ marks the juxtaposition and tectonic reworking between these contrasting crustal blocks. It's Neo-Archean Proterozoic deformation. Aravali-Dilli fold belt is unrelated to southern India. Okay, Basra Craton is the central India. It is not bounded by PCSZ, and Singhbhum Craton is the eastern India. Okay, not separated by the different shear system. So yeah, with this we're gonna jump into the 89th question. So most of the continents had grown up to about 75% of the present size with major stabilization of cratons by. So the correct option over here is about 2.5 billion years ago at the end of the Archean. So between the 3 and 2.5 billion years ago, the Earth experienced this intense juvenile crust generation from the magma. And there is an accretion of what? Accretion of TTGs, that is tonalite, tronjomite, granodiorite suits. And it's the formation of greenstone granite terrains. by 2.5 billion year, there is this Archean Proterozoic boundary. So there is a most major continent nuclei cratons were established in that, and it covered almost about 70 to 75% of present continental volume. So what they are telling is कि पहले के टाइम में जुवेनाइल क्रस्ट जनरेशन थी, उसके बाद TTGs का एक्रेशन हुआ, formation of greenstone granite terrains हुए, and around 2.5 we have this most major continental nuclei. Okay, now we have this craton stabilization. So N Archean, it marks the cooling of the mantle and reduced crust cycling. So there is a onset of long-lived stable continents. So 2.5 is taken as a benchmark for continental growth. Okay, 3.5 is too early. In Archean, there was this small proto-continent that just existed because the crust was still preparing at all, and continental crust volume was still limited. In the Hadean Aeon, there is no stable continents. They was totally dominated by the magma oceans and heavy bombardment. And Ediacaran is a too much late. Continents were already well established back then, and it results to the biological evolution, not the crust one. Okay, so that's why 2.5 billion at the end of the Archean. Now coming to the 90th question. Melanchthon granite is a calc alkaline plutonic body close to what? It is close to Central Indian Shear Zone. So Melanchthon granite का जो location है, that is present in the Balghat district, Madhya Pradesh, and it is really famous for the porphyritic granite, and it hosts this copper molybdenum mineralization. It has the India's largest copper deposit. Okay, so it is close to the Central India Shear Zone because it's a Precambrian transcurrent shear zone. Okay, so it separates the northern Indian block, that is Bundelkhand Craton, and the Bastar Craton, that is the southern Indian Craton. It acts as a pathway for magma ascent, conduit for hydrothermal fluids. The Melanchthon granite and its copper mineralization are structurally controlled by CIZSZ. So what is telling कि पहली बात तो मेलांचथन ग्रेनाइट सोचते आपको ये समझ में आना चाहिए कि मध्य प्रदेश में है, इनका नीचे पोफेरिटिक ग्रेनाइट है और ये होस्ट करता है कॉपर और मोलिब्डेनम को. उसके बाद रोल क्या है CISZ का, ये मेजर प्री कैम्ब्रियन ट्रांसकरेंट जोन है जो सेपरेट करता है बस्तर क्रेटोन को और बुंदेलखंड क्रेटोन को, and it acts as a magma ascent and conduit for hydrothermal fluids. So yeah, then we have this 91 question. Which one of the following lithostratigraphic unit of Proterozoic represents the glacial origin? So about the glacial, lithostratigraphic unit is something that has been named based on the lithology of that area. Okay, and we need to choose that what represents the glacial origin. So what they are trying to UPS is asking is कि Proterozoic में there was this glaciation that happened, and we need to distinguish the Neoproterozoic glaciation from the Gondwana glaciation. Okay, so yeah, so the right answer is the Blenny formation. Blenny formation is the one that belongs to this Shimla group that is present in Lesser Himalaya, and the age is Neoproterozoic. So they have प्लेनी फॉर्मेशन के पास बहुत ज़्यादा टिलाइट्स एंड डायामेक्टाइट्स हैं जो कि एक रॉक टाइप है जो कि ग्लेशियल रीजन से ही जनरेट होते हैं. पोअरली सॉर्टेड है, मैट्रिक्स सपोर्टेड कॉन्ग्लोमरेट्स हैं, एंड दे आर एंगुलर टू सब राउंडेड क्लास्ट, एंड दे हैव ड्रॉप स्टोन्स इन फाइनल सेगमेंट्स. सो दीज फीचर्स आर अनइक्विवोकल इंडिकेटर्स ऑफ ग्लेशियल डिपोजिशन. नाउ it is correlated with Neoproterozoic snowball earth glaciation, and it represents one of the oldest preserved glacial records in India. So Blenny formation is the Proterozoic glacial unit. Now we have this Naghat formation. It's the sandstone shale formation. It is fluvial to shallow marine. Then we have this Chandpur formation. So Chandpur formation is present in the lower Vindhyan supergroup. It lacks the diagnostic glacial features. And we have this Scroll formation. It is the carbonates with the stromatolites and indicates the warm shallow marine environment, not the glacial origin. Now coming to the 92 question, which one of the following groups of Vindhyan supergroup contains very well developed stromatolitic limestone? So the answer is the Pandir group and the Kemur group. Sorry. Bhandir group and the Semri group. the 1 and 4. So this question is asking us about the stromatolite bearing stratigraphic unit in the Vindhyan supergroup and understand of the Proterozoic shallow marine environment conditions. So stromatolite indicate कि they are the laminated structure that are formed by the cyanobacteria, and they require this shallow marine environment that has this good amount of heat, temperature is balanced, warm and photic zone, sunlight is entering in that zone. So very common in Proterozoic carbonate platforms. Then we have this Samri group. Samri group has this lower Vindhyan and carbonate rich units there, limestone and dolomites, and they have this abundant stromatolitic buildups. So yeah, classic Proterozoic microbial platform deposit. Then we have this Bhande group, and it is present in the upper Vindhyan. They have this thick limestone sequences, well developed stromatolites and algal lamination, and they indicate the prolonged stable shallow marine sedimentation. Semri and Bhande is that 1 and 4. Now we have this Kemur group. Kemur group is something that has been dominated by the sandstone. It is fluvial to nearshore and stromatolites are absent over there. And Reva is sandstone shale dominated. It's deltaic to fluvial environment and it is not suitable for stromatolitic growth. Okay, now coming to the 93rd question, the glacier boulder bed is present within what? The question is that, okay. So द कंसेप्ट दैट इज़ गेटिंग टेस्टेड ओवर देयर इज़ कि आपको इंडियन स्ट्रेटिग्राफी के बारे में क्या पता है और पहले क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशंस के बारे में पता है, गोंडवाना ग्लेशिएशन जो हुई थी क्या उसके बारे में पता है. सो द राइट आंसर इज़ द Talchir formation. It is present in the lower Gondwana. The age is from late Carboniferous to early Permian and it is first deposited during Permo-Carboniferous Gondwana glaciation. So yeah, Talchir formation is something that has been characterized by the glacial tilites, boulder beds, poorly sorted conglomerates, striated and faceted clasts, and matrix supported diamagnites. So these are the unambiguous indicators of glacial deposition. And the significance of glacier boulder bed is the Talchir boulder bed is a standard Indian term in geology. It represents the direct deposition by the glacier. While the other options like Barakar formation, it's something that overlies the Talchir one. Barakar is overlies the Talchir one, and it is coal bearing and has this fluvial deltaic environment. It's a post glacial environment that is warm in nature. That's why we are having coal in that. Then we have this Karharbari formation. It is known for its close-up-terrace flora and it indicates the climatic amelioration. So no glacier boulder beds. And Kamti formation is present in the upper Gondwana. It has this fluvial sandstone in it and it is much younger and non-glacial. Now coming to the 94 question. The stratigraphically significant KT boundary represents major mass extinction event between what? It represents the major mass extinction between the Maastrichtian and Dannian stage. So this question is something that arises from the chronostratigraphy and it has an ability to place mass extinction event at correct stage boundaries. So stratigraphic position is Maastrichtian is the last stage of the Cretaceous and Dannian is the first stage of Paleogene. So the boundary between them marks the end Cretaceous mass extinction. It was an extinction of the non-avian dinosaurs, ammonites and many planktonic foraminifera. So it is something that has been marked by the iridium anomaly, impact, ejecta and Chicxulub crater. So one of the most precisely defined stratigraphic boundaries. About the Dannian and the Silurian stage, they both are the Paleocene stage and there is no major extinction boundary over there. Thanetian and Lutetian stage is the Paleocene Eocene transformation and the above one was what? Above one was both Paleocene. Okay, and this is associated with the PETM, Paleocene thermal maxima, not KPG extinction. Then we have this another new name, the Yepsarian and Lutetian stage. So both are the Eocene stage and there is no mass extinction boundary in that. Now we are going to come to the 95th question. Syringotherese limestone in the Ladar Valley, Kashmir Basin belongs to what? So whether it is of the Devonian period or Ordovician or early Carboniferous period or late Permian period. So yeah, early Carboniferous, the option is early Carboniferous period. सिरिंगोथेरिस क्या है? ये एक स्पिरिफेड ब्रैकियोपोड है, ठीक है. इसकी जो स्ट्रैटिग्राफिक रेंज है वो लेट मिसिसिपियन टू अर्ली पेंसिल्वेनिया नहीं, अर्ली कार्बोनिफेरस present होता है. It doesn't occur in Devonian or Permian assemblages. And about the regional geology, the Kashmir Basin, Carboniferous sequence here is the limestone dominated and it is rich in brachiopods. That's why the name is based on the fossil. Early Carboniferous is the only correct age. I guess this kind of question we've already done in paleontology, somewhat related to it. About the Devonian period, it includes the other type of brachiopods in that, Atripa and Stringocephalus. Ordovician is much older, and late Permian, Stringothallis became extinct much earlier. Permian fauna is dominated by different brachipod group. Any limestone named after Stringocephallus is Carboniferous in age. Let me remind you of that. Now coming to the 96th question and the last question. So which one of the following represents the correct ascending stratigraphic order? So this is the question that helps us to know the understand the ascending stratigraphic order and the knowledge of the Tithian Himalayan stratigraphy, that is Ladakh Spiti region, and ability to arrange from the older to younger. Okay, younger is the top one. Okay, so Kunzumla is early Proterozoic and it's the oldest one. Mud formation is of the Devonian and it's in the middle. And Pore formation is Carboniferous Permian, it's the youngest one. So option A is correct. Kunzumla formation is the oldest and it represents the Paleozoic marine sedimentation. It is something that has been dominated by shales, slates, carbonates, and it forms the basal part of the Tithian sedimentary succession in many sectors. Then we have this Mud formation. It is Mud quartzite and it is something that lies above the Kunzumla, and it's a regionally persistent marker horizon across Spiti, Zanskar and Ladakh. Now coming to the Pore formation, it is Carboniferous to Permian in nature and it has this carbonate-rich marine sequence, and it is stratigraphically overlies the Mud formation. So that is that. Kunzumla, Mud and Pore. In this way, I'm gonna end this stratigraphy PYQ analysis of 2025. With that, we have the all 4 years PYQs of stratigraphy and paleontology on my channel. You can add new information to that, and if you want much more detailed solution to that, I can even put the notes if you want to. So yeah, thank you. Let me know in the comment section.